I get asked pretty commonly, I'm trying to take my shooting game to the next level. I'm trying to get a lot better as a shooter. What accessories should I put on my handgun? What should be the first thing I do to my handgun? I think one of the reasons people ask me this question is obviously what I do for a living, but two, they see the gun. I'm typically shooting on the range and even carrying, and it's got all this crazy stuff done to it. And so I think when they see me on the range sometimes, and they see me performing at a level that they want to perform at, I think some of that gets attributed to the firearm and some of the modifications. So I get asked this question all the time. What should be the first things I should do? What's the first accessories I need to invest in to take my shooting to the next level? And I'm going to answer that question for everybody. If you are trying to get to the next level from where you are as a shooter, here are the first accessories you should get. Now, full disclosure, cleared weapon, bone stock Glock 17. This is a very good example of what people typically start with when they're asking these kinds of questions. Should I go with a Lone Wolf? Should I go with a Zev trigger? Apex? What kind of sight should I run? Should I stipple the grip, do an undercut? What should I do to take my shooting to the next level? And this is what they're starting with. And like I said, cleared weapon. This is what they're looking at me shooting. A compensated match grade barrel, fully stippled, undercut, Powder River Ultimate Match trigger with a different trigger shoe, RMR06, slide cuts, just about every daggone thing you could do to it. And they're expecting me to start from this and say, well, this is what I've done to be a better shooter. This is why you need to do these things to be a better shooter. And they're looking for me to take them from this towards, even if their goal is not to end here, towards this, somehow to take their skill set to my skill set with these parts. And rather than deflect the question like I've seen a lot of people do on the internet, I'm going to actually answer it. There are some accessories you can buy that will make you a better shooter. And anybody that says that there's not is full of crap. So here is a list of accessories you should provide yourself to take your shooting to the next level. The first one, not a clock, time. You can't buy your way into being a better shooter. You have to invest time. And what is time? Money. I don't teach classes for free in person. Okay? So if you're going to a competent instructor, it's going to take you time, and time is money. It can take you time at home. Well, how does time at home, unless you have your own place to shoot, translate, which most people don't, translate into being a better shooter? We couple that with the next accessory. An inert trainer. Something that'll fit in your holster just like a real gun. You take time with this, and there's lots of things that could translate directly to a gunfight and self-defense use with this that never requires you actually dropping a striker, moving a sear, sending a hammer forward, and throwing rounds downrange. Okay? I can do sight picture, sight alignment, fast front sight acquisition. I could practice instinctively lining a sight up, draw stroke, grip, stance, weapon retention, weapon disarm. There's lots of things I can practice with this. And I tell people all the time, I carry an XD. And so I'll show my XD, my Rings blue gun for an XD. And I'll say I paid $45 for it. And I've shot 1,000,000 rounds worth of ammo through it. And it just keeps going pew, pew, pew every time I put my finger on the trigger. Never ran out of ammo on it. So it's a good investment. Don't ask me about a $100 trigger kit if you don't even own a piece of plastic that's an analog to your weapon. Okay? Time. An inert weapon trainer. Ammo, like I'm holding a box, but let's pretend there's 50, 100 of its friends here with it. Don't talk to me about $200 sights, Zev trigger kits, custom Kydex everything, a holster for your flak jacket, okay? When you don't even go to the range and shoot, or go to a class, even better, and shoot. This isn't free, but it's worth the investment. If you're willing to invest in parts, you better have invested in lots of this before you worry about parts. Okay? So that's another one. And the last accessory that I think everybody should own is one of these. This is a CED something thousand. I don't remember exactly the model number. 1,000, 2,000. I think it's 2,000. There's lots of good small shot clocks available. And what this will allow you to do is, even if you never actually get a chance to use this to monitor your shots, or very few opportunities, because if you're on a pistol range, a public range, first off, you're probably not drawing and practicing draw stroke under speed if you're doing this. You might even not be able to shoot quickly at a pace with a shot clock at a range, because a lot of ranges that you go and rent time on a range is not going to let you shoot at more than around a second cadence. But what you can do with stuff like this is at home, even with the inert trainer, set yourself up on a random start, and when it beeps, draw the gun. Up, out, get off the X. Whatever you're going to do with something that you can anticipate coming directly at a moment in time, preemptively starting that process. And there will be times, even on a public range, you can use this. If it's not a busy day, or you can catch it in a moment where there's not a lot of people shooting close by, turn the sensitivity down, and then just hold your gun out there like I've showed in one of my other videos. Take the slack out of the trigger. When it beeps, pull the trigger as quick as you can and teach yourself not to flinch, so that you can get accurate shots with a firm, hard trigger jerk, basically. So that skill set will translate very well into you shooting quickly when you do get the opportunity. Heaven forbid that opportunity is in the real world. You've never had a chance to train that trigger pull. Those are the accessories. Time, money. Ammo, money. Shot clock, money. Classes, money. Those are the accessories you should worry about. I can promise you, if there's any disparity between my ability to shoot and your ability to shoot, it's not about all that crap on my gun. Well, then why did you put all that crap on your gun? Because I like it. It makes the gun more enjoyable for me to shoot. And there are tangible benefits to it. At some certain level, you get to a point where you do get some things out of it. I love having a red dot sight where my focal plane focus will be where it needs to be, downrange of what my bad guy's doing, and that's where I need to focus to pick up the front sight, instead of having this anti-sympathetic stress situation of me trying to shift my focus narrowly and internally on my front sight instead of externally and narrowly on the guy I'm trying to drop like a sack of potatoes. So there are tangible things. Having a less pre-travel and over-travel on a trigger will make it easier to manipulate the trigger in a better way. But really, the stuff that I add to my gun makes it more fun to shoot when I'm playing, and I use that term very loosely. To me, gunfights are about speed and accuracy. Anything that I add to my gun that makes it more accurate or easier to be accurate and faster is giving me tangible benefits, but that's not what I bank my skill set on. And to prove that to you, I've set something up on the range here. I've got 3 weapons. I've got the Glock 17 bone stock that I showed you a second ago. I've got my XD Franken gun that's got daggum everything you could ever put on a gun besides sharks with lasers on its head. And I've got a pencil barrel 60s model, if not older, Smith & Wesson Model 1038. This is the Glock before Glock exists. This is what everybody carried on duty back in the day, okay? That wasn't carrying a 1911, okay? Most cops were carrying this. Bone stock, over half a century old technology. Bone stock, modern technology. Practically a race gun. And I got 3 3/4 inch stickers out there at about 5 yards. And let's see how much this matters. And granted, I'm not shooting quickly, but it's just to make a point. Okay? Put these 6 rounds, and I'll shoot these 6 rounds out of the revolver first. I'll shoot them all double action. No single action stuff here, because I can't go single action on the other guns. I'll just pick this leftmost sticker, double action trigger pull. Six out of there. Bone stock Glock 17. How do I make this gun make me better with parts? Middle sticker. And the race gun. 6 rounds, right sticker. Doesn't matter. Can't see what I'm doing here. Glasses fogging up. Doesn't matter. None of the parts made a difference. Well, what's this little guy here? Well, that little guy there is me not being able to see the front sight because my glasses were fogging up. It's easier to see a bright dot than it is that front sight even when your glasses is fogging up. The point I'm trying to make here is the ability to shoot did not come from any of these old technology, new technology, or aftermarket parts. It came from knowing how to shoot, which came from shot clocks and ammunition and time and money and inert weapon trainers where I can drill this stuff down at my house and cost me basically nothing except for the $40 the blue gun costs. So you want some accessories for your gun to make you a better shooter. Start with time, money, ammo, classes, shot clock, inert trainers. Time. And don't even worry about this rest of this stuff until you've put enough of the other stuff into play that you actually can gain something maybe out of an aftermarket part. And even if all you gain is, oh cool, my gun looks neat now, I like it better, then fine. Okay? But don't trick yourself into thinking that buying a Zeb trigger kit is going to make you a better shooter. Because it is not going to. I can guarantee you that.